me, Mario! Yes, today's Mario Day, and you know what that means? We're speaking on Mario. Now, if you read the title and thumbnail of this video, you'll probably realize, what do you mean leaked? I don't see any leaked. Well, if you took any time to look at the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailers, you realize that there's a lot of things that correlate with 3D Mario. And since it's been 9 years since the last 3D Mario, you'll realize that, well, the landscape on 3D Mario has changed quite a lot. And the movie definitely would make sense and open my eyes to a brand new game. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Now for starters, I honestly think that the next 3D Mario game is going to be an open world. It just makes the most sense. It's been 9 years since the last 3D Mario. Every single game makes an evolution on top of each other. Odyssey really gave you that sort of semi-open world aspect of a game, more allowing you to go to different islands in some sort of way. But let's just say that you are on the Mushroom Kingdom. Maybe it is a direct sequel from Odyssey, but this time around you are able to explore to your heart's content. Because I honestly think that the Odyssey capture mechanic worked really well. But let's just say that this 3D Mario game is going to be a little bit different than that. Well, okay. Maybe it could have a HUD bar like Bowser's Fury, being able to store your power-ups inside your pockets. Now, although these two gimmicks would definitely make sense in some way, you can really stick them together and it make a lot of sense in other ways. Because honestly, I think that the whole landscape of the idea format of some of these games really are great. And if I look directly at the Mario Galaxy movie, I honestly think some of the levels would be really great. Like if you looked at the Bowser level or just Bowser holding his axe, that could be a whole level with all of his troops. Now, instead of fighting every single troop one by one, you will be given some sort of super flower where you will be able to punch down every single one until Bowser maybe grabs the superstar and all of a sudden he is invincible. So you have to find another way. Maybe this could be a direct reference to the actual first game, the first ever Mario game where you had to go and hit the axe on the drawbridge. Maybe that's the only way to stop Bowser. But that definitely could be an idea on a level. Maybe during some star shine, it falls from the sky and then all of a sudden darkness starts to spread. And maybe this is where you get some of the castles, and some of the castles allow you to get other fragments from the superstar to get to essentially the final battle, which would be that superstar. Maybe your journey, maybe your goal is to collect fragments from the superstar. If you looked at the Legend of Zelda Breath, you sort of had to complete quests to make your journey at the end a little bit easier. But if you wanted to, you can make your way all the way to Bowser. Who cares? You can go over there and try to stomp on Bowser's head. Best believe it is probably not going to work too well for you, but it's definitely something that you could do. You could also kind of think about this 3D Mario game as being something like Elden Ring, where there was a big main boss that you would have to fight that would be really hard unless you do these certain things to power up. Now, of course, this would be a Mario game, not a Dark Souls sort of game, but it still would make sense in that regard because you can go over there, get yourself some power-ups, you can go and get yourself a bunch of different things doing different levels in that little environment, and then when you have to go and fight the main boss that is part of the main story, then you kind of power up. Then you have maybe a shard of the superstar. Maybe you have something else that makes the boss fight a little bit easier, but you could go in there hog wild if you wanted to without anything. Another level that could work, for example, is a bunch of different mushrooms. So kind of like Mushroom Gorge, you can go over there and have a fun time of a bunch of different mushrooms. There could be Goombas, or there could be flying turtles, or there could be a bunch of different things. But the point is, you would have that sort of landscape to go and explore. Maybe one of the shards are trapped up in space and you had to go and make yourself a rocket to go and get yourself that shard of the superstar because it collapsed on entry, or however the superstar broke in multiple different pieces. But honestly, this would work. Then you have other islands, like maybe you have to go underwater and swim. Maybe Mario lost the ability to stay underwater for a long time, and now you have to get the penguin suit, or you have to get a different power-up that allows you to go underwater. Maybe there's going to be a fish power-up that allows you to go straight underwater and you could become the little fish, or a frog, or whatever the heck actually happens. this honestly would be really cool. And maybe at the end of this little water level that you would have to do, or the full underneath the ice or underneath the water or whatever, would have maybe a giant boss fight. It could be a giant octopus, or it could be a giant blue whale or great white shark or something that would really make you either scared, I gotta go and do this, I have to get something very powerful, he has the superstar, I gotta go and punch him away. That could work. Then you would have other levels. For example, there would be a giant forest that you could go in the forest, and there would be a giant bear that is guarding the superstar, another superstar fragment. Now let's just say that there would be 20 different fragments of superstars. Each of them have their own boss battle. Each of them have their own area that you can go and explore. Honestly think that this is great. If you looked at the Mario Galaxy movie, one of the coolest things was honestly the casino that was flipped upside down. Now this could be another level inside the game. For example, like what if the casino, or what if there was a dice that kind of flips reality upside down? So maybe at some points, once you enter the cube, you enter a 2D sprite. So you're inside of the 2D level and you have to go and get yourself the superstar. Or maybe the cube just flips upside down again and you enter 3D land, for example, or you enter 3D world, or you enter some of those different levels and they kind of shape shift on what this whole thing is going to turn into. I honestly think that this is great. And then we could even see some other levels that could be futuristic, like super futuristic, inside of another place in the Mushroom Kingdom. Maybe you could go back to Super Mario Bros. 2, or it would take some of those games into consideration. Because if you looked at Odyssey, all we really got was the first game, which really put into those levels. We didn't get any other levels associated to that. So what if there was one spot that would time travel, or you get struck in the head by Kamet Orb or something like that, and all of a sudden you're inside Mario Kart. Now I don't believe that we're going straight into Mario Kart, but let's just say it does happen. And since it's an open world, you could pretty much create what you wanted. So let's just say that there's also going to be other collectibles besides the superstars. There's going to be a ton of different collectibles. So since building houses and making your dream home is a really important part in video games nowadays, let's just say that you collect things throughout your adventure. You either go and live in the Mushroom Kingdom, or you make your own Mario house if you wanted to. That could work. Maybe the Mushroom Kingdom is corrupted by Bowser, and that's where this whole thing starts to take place. You have to get the superstar to go to Bowser's Kingdom to have a big fight once and for all. That could work. Or is it Peach's castle that's corrupted? Or you have to go to a different planet to get something else? Or you go through different warp pipes like the first Mario movie. I think that this is the best thing. So overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that the next 3D Mario game is going to be something similar to this? Being able to have a bunch of different power-ups, superstars, being able to go essentially to any island that you choose? Because again, it's going to be an open world. There's going to be an open world that you're able to go and explore to your heart's content. It's your adventure. It's your idea. In Breath of the Wild, there was nothing really stopping you from going straight to the boss fight, straight to Ganon if you wanted to. So maybe in this game, that would be the case. If you go straight to Bowser, wherever he is he taking over the Mushroom Kingdom? Is he taking over Peach's castle? Or does he have his own castle and he keeps sending down some bad troops? All of a sudden, you just make your way over there and you're like, hey, Bowser, you want to have a fight? I'm going to take you down. Even though I don't have the superstar, I'm still going to take you down. And you find a way to take down Bowser without the superstar. So yeah, I honestly think that this would be the best 3D Mario, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see what Nintendo actually has planned for 3D Mario. I hope it's as big. I hope it's as big as my ideas right here. I know it's a pretty great idea, am I right? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Consider hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider to check out these videos right here. Hope you have a fantastic day. See you in the next one.